So it just seems like this week, all right, the housemates are trying a blend of things, trying to know each other, trying to find who they have interest in or who has interest in them. And then finally, expressing themselves when it comes to who they find distasteful or uninteresting or they dislike. And they are doing it in the strongest way possible. Now, they've been trying to know each other from day one, and today is Friday. They're still doing that. Now, there have been tears, there have been arguments, there have been love, and all that I'm going to relate to you in this video. So if you're new to my channel, please kindly subscribe, click on the bell button beside for notification on every post I make. Don't forget to share comments down below and also share this video so that more people can get to see. So we notice how Bravo B and Lerato have been, coming quite close to each other. And this started after, a few conversations. And then yesterday we saw how they were having a conversation in the room, and he was close to her bed saying some things and trying to do some things, which led to him talking about how he misses Panani, and she says how Panani is not for offer, it's not for the giving. If she ever gives it because she wants to, and all the 9 yards. Now they laughed it off, which will let them to hug each other, and he was hugging her from behind, tapping currents and all. And then we later saw both of them had to continue. It seems like that particular scene, right, built or increased their affinity for each other. And then we saw how they were at the garden having random conversations. And these conversations led to them talking about being interested in somebody, like dating or being in love. Now, Bravo B is someone who had told us from the beginning of the show that is hoping to find love in this season. So while he was talking to Lerato, he was talking about how he is usually not the finest guy in the room, and people from where he comes from are usually so cute that he feels he has to work twice as hard to get the ladies. And at some point he had to stop because it was so much. But now he really wants to find somebody he would love. And then that's why he's expressing himself to her. Now, once we think about Bravo B, is the fact that the way he speaks English, at some point, I'm like, this is a guy that you need to just let him speak his dialect. He would flow better. He's funny and interesting. And then, at some point, Lerato was like, so you're admitting that you love me? He said, well, if that's how she sees it, that's what he's doing. No, he is funny to everybody. He is the one who makes people laugh, but nobody ever really makes him laugh. And that's something that is very concerning for him. But when it comes to her, she makes him laugh. Now, they laughed it off and later left that place. All I can say is one way or the other, Bravo B is coming to match, what's his name? Papaphost, and might take over when it comes to Lerato. Now, moving on from that, still on Lerato, she apparently said very cool things to Mpumi. Now, if any of you have noticed from the beginning of the show, Mpumi has been one housemate who seemed to cook the most, right? And she cooks varieties of food. And then here they were around the lounge, that is the dining area, the parlor per se. She was being told by Lerato that she needs to curb the way she uses things. She has used more than 3 cans of tomatoes, and she uses honey and everything. She just opens them, uses, and drops. That she wanted Mpumi to learn how to be calculate and use. Now, according to her, Lerato, Mpumi is a wasteful person. Now, this wasn't so nice, even though she was saying it in the nicest way. I mean, the setting with which they were, there was else there laying on Lerato's body, and Mpumi was standing. It felt as though it was an elder scolding a child. And then, of course, when they were done, Mpumi had to go speak to Papaphost and was crying about it. And I'm like, over this, like, did Lerato, she buy anything to carry come house? So why are you crying? But it is what it is. Maybe it's her own strategy. But I don't know what kind of strategy is that, because she would not end up reaching the finals of the show, according to Big Brother, I guess. But of course, that ended and the housemates had another family meeting kind of thing. And this time it was again the two housemates of opposite genders with the strongest energy, Papaphost and what's her name? Yolanda. Now, I feel Yolanda just has a strong energy and people misunderstand her. And maybe that's the same with Papaphost. But then, Papaphost was talking about how he doesn't know anybody in this house. Nobody knows anybody. And he's trying his best to be as nice and as cool to everybody. And he mustn't necessarily tell all about himself to everybody. So people should learn to understand that he is just someone that, is bold. He is factual. That's why, because of the fact that he's a natural born leader, that is why Mitch always seems to call on him to call for meetings and stuff. And then I think Lerato and some other, please you guys should pardon the goat. We have a goat here. So Lerato and some other lady interrupted him and he overlooked it. Now, according to him, they apologized. But he mispronounced Yolanda's name when he was saying that Yolanda is threatened by him. And then Yolanda was like, it's not Yolanda, it is Yolanda. And he was like, you see how unimportant, something like that, unimportant and invaluable you are, right? And then this shocked the housemates. I mean, there was Jareed whose his jaw was dropped. There was Els who was shocked, and then a number of the housemates were also shocked and they started laughing. I really, really, really like, because I feel that statement was very uncalled for, whatever Jareed said towards Yolanda, because I mean, somebody's correcting you for pronouncing their name wrong. All you were supposed to say, oh yeah, Yolanda, sorry. Right? But it seems as though he was intentionally being antagonistic towards her. And then, of course, she didn't say anything. That's something I really respected. She didn't, want to attack him back and stuff. And that was quite good. In all, I think this week has gone good so far. But next week, people like Yolanda will start giving people back the energy they throw at her. And I will not be surprised if we start seeing fights between her and some guys or some girls, and seeing more fights between people. After all, Lerato does not like her, and that was why I feel Papaphost was quite lenient when Lerato stopped him or interrupted him. He did attack her like he did Yolanda. However, I see a lot of things happening, and I hope drama is just going to come. But anyways, let's see how the remaining part of this week goes, and if anybody's going to be evicted by Sunday. So that's all I have for you in this particular video. I'll see you on the next one.